Survivor stories captivate us because they unveil the boundless strength, resilience, and ingenuity of the human spirit when faced with the unthinkable. These accounts are more than just tales of enduring extreme circumstances. They serve as powerful reminders of our innate capacity to adapt, persevere, and triumph against the odds. From split-second decisions that alter fate to grueling journeys through hostile environments, these stories showcase the extraordinary lengths individuals will go to in their fight to stay alive. They inspire awe, reminding us of the potential for courage and determination that lies within us all, even in moments of profound adversity. Here are 5 of the most remarkable survival stories, each a testament to bravery, ingenuity, and the will to overcome challenges that seem insurmountable. Number 5. Hugh Glass. In 1823, frontiersman Hugh Glass joined a fur trading expedition into the uncharted wilderness of what is now South Dakota. While scouting ahead of his party, Glass inadvertently came between a grizzly bear and her cubs, provoking a ferocious attack. The bear mauled him severely, leaving him with a broken leg, deep gashes across his torso, and a partially scalped head. Despite managing to kill the bear with the help of his companions, Glass was gravely injured and barely clinging to life. Believing his survival impossible, his team left him behind, entrusting 2 volunteers to stay with him until he passed. However, those men abandoned him shortly after, taking his supplies and leaving him for dead. Refusing to succumb, Glass began the arduous journey back to civilization, crawling and hobbling over 200 miles to Fort Kiowa. With no food or weapons, he relied on his survival skills and sheer grit, scavenging berries, warding off predators, and using maggots to clean his infected wounds. Against all odds, he reached safety months later, battered but alive. Glass's extraordinary tale of perseverance became a symbol of human endurance and resourcefulness, cementing his legacy as one of history's most legendary survivors. His story, vividly retold in The Revenant, continues to inspire those who face insurmountable challenges, proving that the human spirit can triumph even in the face of despair. Number 4. Joe Simpson and Simon Yates. In 1985, British climbers Joe Simpson and Simon Yates embarked on an ambitious expedition to scale the west face of Ciudad Grande, a 20,814-foot peak in the Peruvian Andes. The ascent was a success, but their descent turned into a nightmare when Simpson slipped and broke his leg, leaving him unable to walk. With no way to call for help and a storm approaching, Yates devised a daring plan. He would lower Simpson down the mountain in 300-foot increments using a rope. For hours, Yates heroically managed the dangerous operation, battling exhaustion and freezing temperatures. However, disaster struck when Simpson was inadvertently lowered over a cliff edge, leaving him dangling in midair. Unable to see or communicate with his partner in the storm, and fearing they would both perish, Yates made the agonizing decision to cut the rope, believing Simpson had already succumbed. Incredibly, Simpson survived the fall, landing in a deep crevasse. Despite his shattered leg, he summoned every ounce of strength and willpower to crawl out of the crevasse and navigate the treacherous glacier alone. Over the next 3 days, he dragged himself across miles of unforgiving terrain, enduring unimaginable pain and near-total dehydration before finally reaching base camp, just hours before Yates planned to leave. Their harrowing ordeal, immortalized in the book and documentary Touching the Void, is a gripping tale of human resilience, the bonds of partnership, and the excruciating choices that survival can demand. It stands as one of the most extraordinary mountaineering survival stories ever told. Number 3. Juliane Koepcke. On Christmas Eve 1971, 17-year-old Juliane Koepcke boarded Lanza Flight 508 with her mother, heading to meet her father at their research station in the Amazon. Tragedy struck when the plane was hit by lightning during a severe thunderstorm, causing it to disintegrate mid-air. Still strapped to her seat, Juliane fell nearly 10,000 feet into the dense Peruvian rainforest, cushioned by the thick foliage below. Miraculously, she survived the fall with relatively minor injuries, including a broken collarbone, deep cuts, and a concussion. Alone in the vast, hostile jungle and mourning the loss of her mother and other passengers, Juliane's survival instincts and knowledge of the rainforest, instilled by her biologist parents, became her lifeline. Over the next 11 days, Juliane used her understanding of the environment to navigate the jungle, relying on streams as natural pathways and drinking their water to stay hydrated. She identified edible fruits, avoided dangerous animals, and kept her wounds free of infection despite the humid, insect-infested conditions. Weak and exhausted, she eventually stumbled upon a remote logging camp where workers found her and brought her to safety. Juliane's extraordinary ordeal, later chronicled in the documentary Wings of Hope, is a testament to her resilience, resourcefulness, and calm under pressure. Her story remains one of the most incredible accounts of survival against all odds. Number 2. Louis Zamperini. Louis Zamperini's life was defined by resilience even before his harrowing experiences during World War II. As a young man, he transformed from a troubled teenager into a world-class athlete, competing in the 1936 Berlin Olympics as a long-distance runner. His relentless determination, which earned him fame on the track, would later become his greatest asset in his fight for survival. In 1943, while serving as a bombardier in the U.S. Air Force, his plane crashed into the Pacific Ocean during a reconnaissance mission. Only Zamperini and 2 other crew members survived the crash, clinging to a small life raft. For 47 grueling days, they endured starvation, thirst, relentless heat, and constant shark attacks. They survived by catching rainwater to drink and occasionally fishing, though one of the men eventually succumbed to the ordeal. Zamperini's struggle for survival didn't end there. When he was eventually rescued, it was by Japanese forces, who placed him in a series of brutal POW camps. For over 2 years, he endured relentless torture, starvation, and dehumanizing conditions, particularly at the hands of one sadistic guard known as the Bird. Despite these atrocities, Zamperini's indomitable spirit remained unbroken. After the war, his journey of survival continued as he faced the psychological scars of his experiences. Chronicled in Laura Hillenbrand's Unbroken and later adapted into a film, his story not only highlights the strength required to endure physical and emotional suffering, but also his remarkable ability to forgive his former captors, finding peace and purpose in the years that followed. Zamperini's life is a testament to the power of resilience, hope, and redemption. Number 1. Aron Ralston. In 2003, Aron Ralston set out on a solo hike through Utah's remote Blue John Canyon, seeking adventure in the rugged desert landscape. While navigating a narrow passage, a dislodged boulder trapped his right arm against the canyon wall, leaving him immobilized and isolated miles from help. Over the next 5 days, Ralston rationed his limited food and water, enduring freezing nights and searing daytime heat. As his situation grew increasingly desperate, he recorded farewell messages to his family, believing he would not survive. On the 6th day, with no other options and facing certain death, Ralston made the agonizing decision to amputate his own arm. Using a dull multi-tool, he meticulously cut through skin, muscle, and bone in a harrowing procedure that lasted over an hour. Despite the excruciating pain and blood loss, Ralston's ordeal was far from over. After freeing himself, he rappelled down a 65-foot rock face with his injured arm and hiked over 6 miles in the scorching desert to find help. Dehydrated, weak, and near collapse, he was eventually spotted by a family of hikers who called for emergency assistance. Ralston's incredible survival, documented in his memoir Between a Rock and a Hard Place, and later dramatized in the film 127 Hours, is a testament to the extraordinary power of the human will. His story continues to inspire countless people, serving as a reminder of the resilience, determination, and courage required to overcome life's most unimaginable challenges. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Until next time.